It is NashHenryASMR. Salutations to each and every one of you, and welcome. It's Nash speaking, and in tonight's video, it is a very special one. I will be playing some new Fortnite Chapter 5 Season 4 gameplay with my Xenomorph skin, and reviewing the new Alien Romulus movie, which obviously the Xenomorph is in. This should be a very fun video. I actually just watched the movie 2 nights ago in the theaters. It was a very late showing. So yeah, let's get into it, and subscribe and like if you enjoy it. Thanks so much for viewing. So yeah, I came into the theaters watching Alien Romulus. Super excited, and let me just say, it did not disappoint in the slightest. Just to open, this was probably top 5, top 10 of my favorite movies of all time, and I'm not joking. This movie was fantastic. So I went in there and we got some popcorn. I had a Coca-Cola, and the theater was still pretty packed for being such a late showing. It was 10:30 at night, so pretty late. But it was still packed enough, and so I went there with a friend, and both of us had seen most of the prior Alien movies. I had seen most of the first one, but not all of the second one. So we hadn't seen every minute of every movie before this, but let me tell you, it does not really matter, because the Alien series, each movie is very different from one another, and this one carried on another storyline. So just for a brief plot overview, this group of about 6-7 people live on this non-earthly planet, and they notice on their pad or their telescope or whatever that there is an empty cargo ship that they think they can get some cargo from, of just floating in space nearby. So they decide this crew is gonna go and try and pick up this cargo. They could maybe sell it back on their planet. So they go, and it is not at all what they expect, because there's a reason why it was abandoned. Of course, it's because the xenomorph aliens are breeding on this ship, and that's all I'm gonna say for really spoiler-wise. I might towards the end say more, but yeah, so basically there's a ton of action, and it's super suspenseful once they got on the ship. Like, the characters are portrayed very well. The setting is brought up well. It's kind of a slow beginning, but I'm glad it's like that, because it really leads into a fantastic film. And then, of course, the actors just did a great job. I mean, let me just list off some of the main headline actors, just so you guys know who's really in this film. So, Kaylee Spaney is the main character. Rain is the name of the main character in this one. Isabella Marced is another one. Eileen Wu, Archie Renault, David Johnson, and Spike Fern. So those people are the 6 crew members that go to this cargo ship when all hell breaks loose. But yeah, the movie, you might think, okay, it's going to be too crazy for me, but actually it is really suspenseful, really scary scenes, but really fun and thrilling. Just an edge of the seat kind of movie. You are not going to fall asleep in this movie, even if it's past midnight, trust me. This is a thriller. Afterwards, when we came out of the theater, we all felt like we came out from a different planet. It was a crazy movie, but we all loved it. Definitely exceeded my expectations, even from the great reviews so far. Yeah, so there were some decent Alien fans in there, though, too. It was awesome. There were a big group of people in there that were making some noise in the big scenes, but it was fine. The movie itself, though, was absolutely A+. I mean, I'd give it a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes if that were me. It's in the 80s somewhere right now. I'd go even higher than that. Yeah, but it's been doing really well in the box office. Huge budget. But what made it so good about this movie was that you could tell there wasn't a ton of CGI involved, which is true. So the casting and the production was just A plus, top tier. And then another thing I really found cool was towards the end. This is just a quick spoiler. There was a big morph between a xenomorph and a human called the Xenoman. And this guy, our group of friends are big basketball watchers. So we were like, hey, that build looks a lot like this 7'7" guy named Robert Bobrovsky, a former college basketball player who went viral on the internet. We were like, his body looks a lot like him. If you look him up, you'll see Xenoman, Alien Romulus, and it turns out it was his first acting gig, and it was him. So a really cool connection there, Robert Bobrovsky from Romania. That was a really cool part of the movie, the end I'm talking about. That was awesome. Definitely, though, if you're a fan of horror movies, scary movies, the Alien series, or anything along those lines, definitely watch this in the theaters before it leaves the box offices, because this is one, in my opinion, you just won't want to miss. I mean, I watch a lot of movies, but I don't normally, I guess I'm kind of I critique a lot of stuff. But in this movie, there really wasn't much to critique. I mean, lighting, production was absolutely fantastic. The setting was great. The casting was great. The plot was fantastic. And some of those scenes were so scary, which made the movie just even better. I mean, it will keep you on the edge of your seat. Like, your popcorn might go flying in some of these scenes. That's how scary some of these scenes are. Like, there's one where the main character, Rain, the pregnant character, not Rain, a sub character, she is crawling like through a vent in the space station, and above her you can see the xenomorph stalking her, and she's only got seconds left. But you have to see these scenes. Like, this movie is very, very, very well done. I'm sure there were some very tough scenes to film in the acting process, so shout out to all the actors in this. I saw some story about how one of them, Eileen Wu, had to put her face in like a hole or something for a long time to film a certain scene. So definitely a great job by the producers to put out this quality of work. But it definitely exceeded my expectations. And also, I guess I'll briefly touch on the previews too. Beforehand, I saw one that just came out up in the theater. Speak No Evil. I would like to see that movie. Borderlands, I do not really want to see. I was interested, but all these reviews have been absolutely terrible, so probably not interested in that. But yeah, that's why this Alien Romulus movie has been also so great, because it kind of comes at a dead period for movies, late summer, early fall, and there really hasn't been many big stuff in the box office besides Deadpool lately. So very, very happy to see this one out when it came out, and yeah. So this gameplay is also so cool because I'm using the Xenomorph skin. So, from the main villain from the movie, of course, and so excited to play this new Fortnite map. It has just been fantastic. This new season also exceeded my expectations. Way, way better than last season. Battle Pass is great. Everything's fantastic. So if you guys haven't played it yet, definitely do that as well. But back to this review for a minute. I mean, everything in this movie was top tier. I'm not joking. I mean, like I've said, casting, scenes, plot, setting, just fantastic stuff. I just love the Xenomorphs too. Such a cool plot line. So yeah, I mean, I had heard buzz about it for so long, but I was just blown away by how much love and every second of this film. It really did feel like it was made by that 1980 crew that made the original one. The art design, the set, the creatures, it was all just A plus, chef's kiss work. Yeah. In my opinion, I would say it's the best Alien film since the first two. If you love those, though, you will definitely like this one. There are Alien video games as well. I might have to download one after being inspired by this, but yeah, this movie was just great. It might even be my favorite Alien movie so far. Beautiful cinematography, music. Oh yeah, the soundtrack was great. I'm just remembering that now. Like, the suspense music was perfect. The music couldn't have been better. The acting, I felt, was great, even though probably none of you are familiar with any of the actors. They still did a great job, which makes it even more impressive. And it was just extremely set up well. The only thing about this entire movie that I would have liked to see more was slightly more action by the adult xenomorphs. You saw a lot of the breeding and the younger xenomorphs, but not a lot of the adults. But in a couple scenes you did, and oh man, those were great. This was just, some of these scenes will always be classics, I'm sure. Okay, so for the second part of this review, I thought I would read what some big headline websites had to say. So, I will say what they rated it and what they said in a sentence or two. So, Rotten Tomatoes has rated it an 82%, and they said honoring its nightmarish predecessors while just bursting at the seams with new frights of its own. Romulus injects some fresh acid blood into one of cinema's greatest horror franchises. Next up, Entertainment Weekly rated it a B+ and said it's got the thrills, it's got the creepy crawlies, and it's got just enough plot to make you care about the characters. Alien Romulus is a hell of a night out at the movies. That's very true. That's very true. New York Post said, in a 3.5 out of 4 rating, it borrows the shabby computer aesthetic of the '79 flick while upping the ante with haunting grandeur. Agreed. Next up, we've got IGN. They gave it an 8 out of 10. Alien Romulus' back to basics approach to blockbuster horror boils everything fans love about the tonally fluid franchise into one brutal, nerve-wracking experience. BBC gave it a 4 out of 5. Bede Alvarez, the director, has triumphed with a clever, gripping, and sometimes awe-inspiring sci-fi chiller, which takes the series back to its nerve-wracking monster movie roots, while injecting it with some new blood, some new acid blood, you might say. Okay. The Telegraph gave it a 4 out of 5, saying, Romulus might inject an appalling new life into the Alien franchise, but it won't do much good for the national birth rate. True. Some bloody scenes indeed. said, "The creatures remain among the most truly petrifying movie monsters in history, and the director leans hard into the sci-fi horror with a relentlessly packed entry that reminds us why they have haunted our imaginations for decades." So, it seems as if the majority love this movie. However, there is a small minority that dislikes it. The Guardian said, "A technically competent piece of work, but no matter how ingenious its references to the first film, it has to be said that there's a fundamental lack of originality here, which makes it frustrating." Listen, I don't understand this argument at all. There's never going to be perfect originality in a movie franchise. There just isn't. There's always going to be changes. There's always going to be new characters. So I don't buy this argument. Originality, I don't buy it. Okay, so that is really the other really poor rating is from IndieWire, and they said they rated it a C. They said it's certainly hard to imagine a cruder way of connecting the dots between the series' fractured mythology. So they're just saying they don't like that each movie necessarily goes together perfectly. In my opinion, I like that of the series because I don't like it when you have to watch everything strictly in order without missing a minute. It makes it seem very tedious and repetitive, and yeah. So I also disagree with that argument. Once again, I'll say I would rate this movie 95% out of 100%, an A rating, and very, very, very good. One of the best top 10 movies I've ever watched. Definitely check it out in the box offices if you haven't yet, at the theater near you, the local theater near you. I watched it at an AMC Theaters. So yeah, definitely watch it there if you haven't already. Thanks so much for viewing, and the last few minutes of this video will just be some mouth sounds. So if you enjoyed, hit that sub button, like the video, and share it with your movie friend. Thanks for viewing, and check out Alien Romulus.